Hey, what's up with the whistleblower, bruh?
What's up with the whistleblower?
The UFO whistleblower.
Wait, time out. You gonna tell them welcome back to the podcast?
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the podcast. And today, we are going to talk about whistleblowing.
Yeah. Did you know not only
like the principal at your school just hauling off on the whistle?
Or like in the NFL, the dudes in the black and white, they holler on their whistles.
The zebras.
The zebras.
Or the principal at your school.
You just said that.
Hollering off on the whistle.
Hey, there's if you ever go to a rave, there's always that one dude who got the lights all around him and he got that whistle.
No, I mean, it's mostly, I always see the girls with the whistles.
Do you really?
Yeah.
But anyways, they be whistling.
Yeah, whistling. What's up with this whistleblower? You believe him?
So I believe you're referring to the whistleblower who came out recently about the U.S. government is secretly and have been collecting UFO debris from crashes or some sort of.
Well, I don't think he's collected any damn thing.
No, that the U.S. has gathered and collected.
But people have been telling him this, that he confides in, that he's worked with for years.
Right.
I mean, but go ahead.
It's secondhand.
David Gresh, is that his name?
Gresh.
Yeah.
Maryland added in.
Yeah.
It's secondhand information, right? But because he is so up the chain in the like Black Project undisclosed projects that he gets this information from other colleagues and they tell him the going of the whole deal.
Right.
And he feels like he's the one that has to come out and verbally put it out there and say such. And I think they planned it that way because he has more clout. He would be more believable because he has such a repertoire of military experience. My only thing with it, if you come out with something like that.
Come out with proof.
Come out with that damn
Come out with proof.
Man.
Yeah, I know.
You got to come out with proof. And I get you disclose some documents to the Congress and to the Intelligence Committee and Arrow and all. That's fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But when you make big, bold accusations such as this, you need to come out with the proof.
Yeah. I mean,
where the proof?
I agree.
Yeah.
But hear me out on this.
Well, let's hear you out.
Does he?
I mean, I would think so.
I kind of believe the dude because of his status in the military.
Yeah.
When the preacher come out at church and he put his hand on somebody and said, "You got the Holy Ghost."
Right.
Did he really prove that? Or did he just say, "You got the Holy Ghost"?
Yeah. Well, and that also goes on the person who thinks that they have the Holy Ghost.
That's what I'm saying. Proof is what?
Yeah.
You know? I like to think that this dude doesn't want to damage his lifestyle.
He's already done it.
Right. But
there's no going back from this. What are you talking about?
But you got to figure if somebody does that, they have seen something or heard something from like the closest of closest friends.
Yeah, a good reputable source.
And was like, yo, we cannot let this continue on. If this goes unchecked, and we start weaponizing things we ain't got no business weaponizing, and Congress and 90% of the government doesn't know about this, and these are some black budget, secret military type people doing this, I would kind of want them in check.
Yeah, but you still need the proof for the masses that don't quite understand and just now are getting into it. Like a picture or something.
But I kind of feel like we've been seeing that for years.
But which to another point, if they really wanted to know the truth, they could vet this dude, which they have. They vetted him. He turns out to be the cookie he says he is.
Right.
He has all the chocolate chips.
Right.
Like he's the ingredients.
Yeah.
At what point do we not just take his word for it?
Right.
Like, what does this guy have to gain by putting himself out there like this and making these big, bold statements? Some of that has to be true. You don't just come out and be like, I'm going to tell you the whole kit and caboodle.
But what if, like, I hear other things, and this is where the soup, see, I don't like murky water.
Right.
But some people are saying, oh, well, what if this is what Stephen Greer said this whole time, and it's this false flag? And
well, that people have been saying that, and that is part of probably part of the agenda, if there is an agenda. Remember, all this is just speculation.
Right.
We can speculate all we want, but we have no damn clue. Everybody's going to say something about something with no backing.
That's what I'm saying. Even if he would have showed a picture or a video, I don't think that would ever be good enough.
Right. Well, the people in, where is it, Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah. The Hispanic family.
Yeah, that the meteorite that the cop caught on his body cam showed a green meteorite.
Right.
Going down.
Or supposedly it was unidentified.
Unidentified. But people are saying it was a meteorite, and they got it misconstrued. But they happened to call in at the same time that meteorite happened. This family calls in and says, hey, something landed in our backyard. They're between 8, 9, 10 feet tall beings with big eyes.
And then a ring cam caught the explosion.
Right.
Right.
And there was some sort of circle impression in their yard. So the cops go and investigate because they get a call for it. And the cops get there and they're like, yeah, my partner he had it on his body cam. He saw it. And even one of the cops made a statement like, hey, if you run across those 10-foot people again, don't call me. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Right.
So it obviously happened.
Right.
And so they come out later down the line. The kid does. He has a YouTube channel. This is where I start to kind of weigh the evidence.
Right.
He says that they saw it, his family saw it, and then they happened.
I thought it was just the two kids that saw it, and they went back and reported it to the.
But then they all went outside. Remember?
They
had footage of the whole family outside.
Yeah.
And I think someone else, I don't know if it was them. I have to get the facts right, but I don't know if it was them or another neighbor caught the actual
entity.
Yeah, on camera as his porch light turned on, because he stated that he heard something outside his door wrestling around. When he went to investigate, he looked out his window and he saw a being or something, but it was like camouflaged, he said. It was only until the automatic porch light turned on and illuminated the being, and he caught a picture of it. Now, if you look at the picture, it looks pretty hard to squeeze somebody in that if it was a costume, because the neck is so skinny and the way the shoulders look and how it looked like it has like a double clavicle type of structure going on.
And he had a surprised look on his face with big old eyes, and his mouth was like, oh.
Yeah, but that was kind of if you got big ass eyes like that on attached to your face, you're gonna always have a surprised look about you.
Right, but here's the thing. It was an explosion. We heard it on the ring cam, right?
Right.
So where's the scientist who's saying that this is a meteor? How come they're not gathering meteor pieces and showing that?
They've talked.
Where's the impact hole if it was a meteor?
Right. But some of them explode before impact. We know that, right?
Right.
So it could have been just fragmented all over.
I find it hard to believe there wouldn't have been like some broken windows or something being pelted.
Right.
This debris has to come down somewhere.
Right. And where is it? I mean, at this point, the story is so widespread, it's like kind of hard to contain.
Right.
You can only go off by the bits and pieces of what articles are given out. And then the kid comes out on his YouTube channel, right? And he starts giving out more and more of the story. Now, what they are saying is, why is he doing it on his YouTube channel? Why is he not telling more and more people?
Right.
Why, like, is he trying to, hoax everybody?
And now they went dark. Now you can't even get a hold of the family or something, right?
And then to the other point is, what were they doing? Just sitting around waiting until a meteorite came over their head to pull off this hoax?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that would take a lot of, you may never do the hoax if that's the case.
Right.
And to have a cop witness it.
Stephen Greer and a bunch of people did a press club interview back in the day, like 2001.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was like a bombshell in itself.
Yeah, but it got no attention
because
at all.
of like because of 9/11.
Right.
Right? It really got, it so happened to be in the same time frame. And then they just had another press club convention with like 8 credible witnesses. And I still feel like it didn't get the shine of day because you got this Biden Hunter deal going, and you got this Trump thing going, and then you got David Gresh thing going.
You got Ukraine.
Got Ukraine, and it's like
you got China on top of that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, why does it seem like
they're trying to divert your attention?
Right.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, this dude came out and I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's just, I want to believe that, you know, we have evidence and we've recovered craft.
But we've been doing it since Roswell.
But it's like, why come out with this now?
Right. Right.
There's a bigger question to be had here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why now? Out of the blue, why now is this?
The past 4 or 5 years.
Clearly he's known about this.
Right.
You know?
It's the past 4 or 5 years. Ever since the Tic Tac and the Nimitz video started, the gimbal video started coming out, they've been like slowly dripping and leaking more and more information. And the government is starting to say, yeah, it's ours. And why now?
What if the U.S. has, you know, reverse engineered alien craft and we got it down and we're moving about the skies. So what we're really seeing is the U.S. secret, you know.
But why show it?
Secret planes.
But why show that?
Well, maybe they want to use the alien cover up or the alien talk as a cover up to say, hey, it's not us, it's aliens.
Right.
So that way, if somebody wants to retaliate, go find the aliens because they're doing it.
Right.
But secretly, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so many ways this is what happens when your government doesn't tell you the truth.
Yeah, I always say that. This is how conspiracies are born.
They created the mindset and the distrust with the people.
But yeah, I see.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, so if it all comes out, nonetheless, if it's we built it or alien built it, aliens are here.
Right.
I mean, if that comes out, which it is, I'm thinking this might be the year we all get disclosure if things actually go according to plan, like Congress actually acts on it.
So like, where does it go from here?
Right.
I still don't see people panicking. Like, do you see anybody panicking right now?
No, but I like to think that it's gained a lot of attention. It's more people that were kind of like on the fence about it or like on the fence now with one leg back on the alien side going, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why is this high-ranking official stating this?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, we already knew this. We knew it was a cover-up then back in 1947 during Roswell.
Well, isn't Congress like now going to pull a hearing?
Yeah, so they're going to
pretty soon here,
they're
right?
They're going to try and subpoena and
get that dude,
get that guy on there. Yeah, but I hear it's like a lot of work is because he has a lawyer. You know, he's all lawyered up too.
Yeah,
he's actually in fear of his safety.
Yeah, didn't he like he swore, or he what was it, something about an oath or something?
Yeah, I think it was a
I don't know all the jargon.
Yeah, MDA, that disclosure, or whatever. But if he was, if he's got the nads to come out and say this, where's Lou Elizondo?
Right.
You know, he's like, I'm going to violate my MDA and I'm going to get the American people what they deserve.
Right.
Meanwhile, Lou is like, I still believe in the government, even though the government tried to discredit me and say I never worked for him. And he's the only one playing by the rules.
So you think
I think Lewis, he needs to put up or shut up because this guy's doing way more than what he's doing in the past 3 or 4 years.
So you're saying the whole system is fractured. Like
everything is
fractured. Almost every man for themselves.
And you don't know who to believe.
Right.
It's so far, it's so convoluted now, you don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
And it's at this point, if I am the alien that's looking up, behind the veil or looking at what's going on, at some point you got to just like pull the curtain down and go, the gig is up.
Right.
This has gotten too far. This is just now turned into a damn circus. Here we are. I'm here. Let's start getting acquainted, acclimated, and getting used to the idea that you're not alone. We've been here for thousands of millions of years, and this is who we are. We tried to sit in the sidelines in hopes you guys would grow up and get over your insignificant bullshit.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not working, or it's not meeting the time scale we have, because this planet is about to either come into some sort of merging of awakening, or we're just really about to destroy it and deplete our resources.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we could kind of put ourselves in the same situation. Like, I don't think people, some believe us when we say we're having these ear-ringing events. And then I know there's some of you out there that goes, but where's the proof?
Right.
And how do you prove
something like that?
Something like that.
That's what I'm saying. At some point, you got to take someone's word for it. You can't totally distrust the people, man.
Right.
Because at the end of the day,
we don't have anything to gain from this.
It's all I
got so many friends and family who watch our podcast, and to put that personal thing out there,
yeah. It opens you up
for scrutiny. So on one hand, I don't want to talk about it. But on the other hand, it's like, it's so surreal and real to me. You have to say something, because what if somebody else is dealing with it thinking they're going crazy?
Yeah, which we know that to be a fact.
Right.
I've helped how many people since that Mara podcast?
Right.
It's ridiculous, man.
My daughter, Solaris,
Boo boo.
She's kind of, she believes us.
Right.
Hands down, she believes us. Her fear is because she's a direct bloodline to us.
Is it part of the genetics?
She's a very open-minded girl at the age of 15.
Right.
That she's going to get it one day. And so I try to tell her what it's like, and
I was thirsty as hell.
Yeah, you were. You had a little camel throat going on there.
Man, I was dehydrated.
Yeah. Let me check your skin.
My skin. No, leave it alone, man.
Okay.
I just had to rehydrate.
So I try to tell her, hey, look, if you do experience it, this is how it starts. This is what happens. What I don't tell her is my certain fears of it, but that's my fears of it.
As she's watching now,
I know she's going to.
What I don't tell her is,
but she's going to know now.
Yeah,
but those are my fears.
Yeah,
I put that into the experience.
Yeah,
I've never been attacked or had anything negative happen to me in these ear-ringing experience. Mainly, it's just auditory things and some visual stuff that I just
had fear of.
Well, yeah, I had fear of it, but there was really no reason to fear it.
But they were, like you said, your fears.
Right. I just hate being paralyzed and not being able to do anything when this is happening. So I had I had two recently.
Right.
And I wrote them down, and sometimes I don't even think it's worth like going in the phone and reading this verbatim, but one of them, when Brian was here, Unit E was here not too long ago, and I woke up from having this ear-ringing event. As soon as the ear-ringing event started, I heard a sound like, or
a popping sound.
animated, cartoonish popping sound.
Yeah.
And there was this wavy blue screen. And then as this wavy blue screen made like white noise or brown noise, a bunch of cards or mini TVs, or it's hard to explain.
Like little pixelated squares of something?
Yeah, but they were all in, there's like a queue.
Right.
Of them.
Right.
And they're all showing something.
Right.
It's not like they're each and every one of them are on this repeat pattern, but they're all showing a movie per se, as if you're looking at YouTube and you're scrolling, you know. So it's a bunch of these mini visual cues.
Mm.
And so one of them highlights. And then as it highlights, I'm like, into that cue. And to make it, I don't want to go on about it, but the one thing that stood out was as I went into the one highlight, I was on back of this motorcycle and I was holding on like some leather straps, right? And people who know when these events happen, it's totally real. Mm-hmm. Smell, wind, cold, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm looking around like, and we're in this like neon like city, and this dude has a helmet. Now I've ridden on the back of a dirt bike, and I know what that feeling's like.
Right.
So I'm holding on, and I'm like, where are we going? Like, you know, trying to talk to this dude. He never turns around, and he's just focusing on the road, right? And so we started getting into these tight places, and he hits my leg and like tells me to like physically like move your legs. We're gonna get in this tight spot. And right when I do, something goes right past it, and I'm like, "Fuck! Like, where are we going? What are we doing?"
Yeah,
you know. And as we're going through this, I could feel the lean of the bike. My hands physically grabbing leather, like I'm feeling this now.
Yeah,
is how I feel it. And the leather was kind of cold. You know, like it's trippy.
Right.
And so I'm tripping out on that. And then from that, I hear another popping sound, and I'm back at the screen with all these things going on. And then it kind of just highlights something else, and then I'm in that one.
Damn.
And so this one was the trippy one. I am watching this guy go up this ladder. Mm-hmm. These people never turn around and look at me. He's going up this ladder, and it's like a pole with, it's like a light pole, but it has these hand fixtures on it that you can grab.
Like a wooden telephone pole.
Right.
Yeah.
But everything's metal. Right. And everything is cold. The ground is white, like as white can be. Right, right. And he's climbing up. Mm-hmm. And then the pipe elbows off to like a platform that's going to like something like this tree right here, right? But it's not like a tree, but it's a platform that kind of remind me of a treehouse type platform. So he climbs up and he grabs on the elbow, puts his leg up another step, and he gets up easy. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's how you get up. And so I'm like, well, I guess I'm supposed to do the same thing, right? So I start climbing up. And then as I get to the elbow to reach up and pull myself onto the platform, I mean, this thing feels cold and hard, just like, you know, metal. Right, right. You know, and I'm like, I didn't climb it fast. It's not a dream. I'm really taking my time doing this. And I'm asking myself, why am I even doing this? And I don't recall looking down. But as I get ready to go and, you know, get on this platform, I can feel the pipe, this cold pipe breaking and bending and folding. And I'm like, oh shit, I better try to hurry up and get on there. And as I did that, I put more weight on it and I fell backwards and I landed on my back. And, you know, this lady was just saying, you know, you got to get up and get on here. Or I can't remember what she said verbatim, but she was making a gesture like I had to get on this platform. And the only thing I can say, because I was so frustrated, imagine that. I'm frustrated like how I would be in this reality.
Right.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like, what? What?
Yeah.
You know? And then popped out of there. And, you know, I can't remember the next queue I went in, but it felt like it was going to be endless.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually.
Like there was like just a multitude of different.
Right. And then my ears rang again. And, you know, like the vibration kind of slowed down, and then it kind of went away, and I just woke up and I hurry up and knocked on the wall to tell her why, because she works, her office is in the next room over, and so we talked about it, and then I told you and Brian that morning about it, and then I had another one.
Yeah. See, that's funny because you are having them more and more. I couldn't tell you when the last time I had one.
Right.
I haven't had one in a long time. And I think because I'm guessing, because I look forward to them,
right?
Because whenever they come about, in my mind, that just tells me to get the proverbial popcorn and the sody pop, and get ready for a show, because you don't know where it's going to take you.
Right.
But because you've been so those hidden fears of them, and now that you're starting to open up, like Brian and I told you to be, just open up to them. I think you're starting to get a little bit deeper than what I've been getting into.
Right.
So
yeah, so I think it was the same day. Oh, it was the day before that David Gresh guy came on TV and did his little spiel about UFOs.
Right.
And Brian had just got back to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I think you were at work when I called you. But I had gotten almost zero sleep the night before, as usual. And I was dreaming, and I know I was dreaming. I know what a dream is like. And it was about my uncle, and he got a dog, and we were all in this house, and the dog shit in the house, and we were all like, get the dog out of the house, right? So right out of that dream, it was like a transition before my ears rang. It was a guy, like a gesture like guy. He was like, hey man. I was like, what's up? Now I know I'm dreaming, and this has now become lucid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, you want to know how to grow a demon?
What?
Hear me out on this.
Yeah.
And I go, what? He goes, yeah, you want to learn how to, I don't know if he said, do you want to learn or do you want to know how to grow a demon?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what, a demon? I'm like, no, I ain't what. He was like, well, it's not like a demon. It's kind of like us, but a person with wings. And I'm like, no. And he was like, good. And he was showing me anyways.
Right.
So he walked me to this, we were on some grass, and he walked me to this bucket, like thing that stuck out of the grass. And he removed the lid. And he was like, well, first off, you have to grow these vegetables in here. I'm like, what vegetables? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
right.
This is how I'm talking.
Yeah.
And he goes, so things go black, and then we reappear in the same place. Like it was like a cut.
Right.
And then there was vegetables in there, like something that was green. And he was like, so what you do is you pick them and you chew them, but don't swallow them.
Right.
Spit it back in there again.
Right.
And for some reason, I'm doing this, but I know I'm dreaming. I'm like, oh, this is one of these lucid dreams,
right?
You know? So I chew these vegetables and I spit it back into this soil. And then there's like a packet of like noodle-like things, dry noodle-like things. And then he was like, you just leave those there. You don't mess with that. And he like puts water on them, and they started to grow all crazy and fast. And we closed it. And then he was like, that's it. Now you just got to sit and wait. And I'm like, what? And then my ears started ringing. And right when they started ringing, I hear my 7-year-old daughter's voice. When she was 7, she had a distinct pitch.
Yeah.
And she goes, Daddy. And I'm like, huh? I said this. And I knew I was kind of waking up because I could see myself physically in bed, but I can hear her going, Daddy.
Right.
And I'm like, huh? And then she goes, well, she said, Daddy 3 times. And I said, huh? 3 times. And she goes, come here. She said that 3 times. I responded once with, where? And she goes, Daddy. And it's getting like further away, right? And then my ears really kick into gear and it blows me into it. And I'm like, oh, it kind of felt like a trick. It kind of felt like that, whatever it was, mimicked my daughter's voice to get me to not pay attention to the ring. And the ring kicked in, and I looked at the door you entered to my room. Right in the middle of the door, if you took like 3 or 4 basketballs and you situated right in the middle of the door, it was like that size, and it just went black. But bruh, how the door dissolved to where it was just pitch black, it's like the blackest thing you can ever imagine. Like this, like the color black that we see like this, that's not black.
Yeah.
This is like a color.
Right.
It was black.
Like a void.
Like, man, it was
nothing.
like the scariest black you've ever seen.
Wow.
And then these blue, like 3 or 4 ionized, charged, crystal, soft blue, electric like blue with white diamond like
orbs.
It was, but that was one orb had all of that going on with it.
Yeah.
It was like it had all these angles in it and all of this shine to it. So that was one of them. Then there was 3 more. And they were doing these, they would pause in these shapes and geometrical forms and would chase each other and do weird things. And then as it did that, there was a voice going, or there was a deep voice going, alien, alien, like 3 times. And then it started saying, real, 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 we're real, like that, right? And I'm like, holy shit. And as these things are doing I know this shit sounds unbelievable, but I'm telling you,
ooh, it's a hell of a.
I cannot control what I'm seeing. I couldn't even fathom the colors, and I couldn't fathom the way this thing projected itself and did all of this. I just can't even explain. Like, you would have to be there.
Yeah. And
so it was like, real, we're real. And right when it said we're real for the 3rd time, like my shoulders shrugged. I was like, you know, when I get this fear on me, my shoulders kind of shrug a little bit, like, oh my God, what's next?
Yeah.
And so the 4 balls, they kind of like disintegrated. But how they disintegrated was like, it was phenomenal. I almost want to say it was like magical. It was just it was beautiful. It was weird. I've never seen, it'd be no way I could describe how these things dissolved.
Right.
But it was almost like dust.
Yeah.
How they finally came down to their like organic compound structure. Right. And as it was sprinkling down in this crazy dark matted void, it sprinkled down into a blue, gorgeous outline of a man running like this. His hands were out in front of him. It was a humanoid shape. And one hand was like this, one hand was like this, and he was running slow motion. But these hands never moved, but his legs were moving slow motion. Now, I don't know why it was showing me that, and then there was a 3rd image. I cannot remember what the 3rd image was. If I go and try to say it was this, I know
you would just butcher it.
I would just butcher it, and it wasn't that. And I don't want to add things to my memory that
weren't there.
So as the man faded down and the hole started to close, man, the way this thing started to close itself up, like I said, it's no way I could ever explain it. It's nothing I've ever seen in this world that can describe how the hole was closing up.
Yeah.
And I could feel the vibrations picking up faster and faster as the hole's closing. And if you look straight and you cut your eyes down to the left, that's what I was doing. Like, as the hole was closing, I was cutting my eyes down to the left, and I'm vibrating fast. My teeth are chattering. My head, it feels like it's going like back and forth 1,000 miles a second. Like, you know, I'm just like, like it's almost painful, but it's not. As I'm looking at the corner of my eye, I can see me and my head in the pillow there. And I'm like telling myself, oh, I got to slow down my vibration to get back there.
Right.
And so as I said that, almost instantaneously, I started to slow down my vibration. It made sense to me. It was all clear to me that I had to slow down the vibration in order to get back into that.
It felt like there was like a magnet pull to you.
But I had to slow whatever I was down. And then as soon as I thought that, I started to slow down tremendously. And then my eyes went back in, and as I'm looking at the corner, my eyes start to shove their cells back the opposite way. And I'm laying in bed, and man, I'm like, I'm not terrified. I'm just like, I'm still feeling this whole whatever this is. And again, I knock on the wall, and Marilyn comes in. I know she's thinking, not a fucking another one,
right?
You know? And I was like, this one was crazy. And I could still feel it on me, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, she could see I'm clearly out of it. Yeah. She just didn't want to say anything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know, it took maybe 5 minutes to not feel that feeling.
Right.
And then I called you, and I think I called Brian about it. And then you were like, you know, or I was telling you, I'm like, man, I just hate that feeling where it's not going to go away. And, you know, you was like, well, just give it time. You know, after a couple of days, you ain't going to think about it.
Right.
The feeling wears off.
I had the same issue. When I fell out of my body, when I had that dream and I had the episode kick in, I rolled out of my body, and I was making my way around the bed outside of my body. But during the whole time, I felt this like somebody had a Acme, you know, those cartoon magnets, just at me like this. Wherever I went, that magnet was on me. So I constantly felt this tug of my right side of my body trying to shove itself back into my body. And I would always do this to try to rip away from it. I was consciously telling myself, rip away from it. Just, I want to see where I can go. And I got to the door of my bedroom, and before I could like turn it and open it, I had no choice but to give back in. Like my body was like, you are not about to get any further than this. And it just pulled me back in. So, but when I woke up, I felt like this charged, like I was like charged energy, and I'm still like being pulled into my body, but just like this weird feeling of just like I close my eyes and this like vibration.
Yeah, I know that.
If I close my eyes tight, it's just like my whole body is just like surging, and I'm like, oh, well, when does this go away?
Right.
It's like, and I'm up now, like I'm in my body. I'm okay, I'm up, I get it, but why am I still feeling like I'm being tugged?
Right.
And I thought, oh, how long does this last? And slowly but surely, my body started to go back normal. Like the numbness was coming back, the tingling, and then I could feel, and I was, was that paralysis? That's why I was telling myself, that's just like a hard form of sleep paralysis.
Right.
But different, because you're up and you're aware. You can leave your body and do all this other stuff and have full awareness. So, and it was on me all day. And then slowly but surely, as I went on with my day, it was like back to reality.
Yeah, that's what happened
back to normal.
I was
but that first incident where you had with the you want to learn how to make demons.
Yeah.
So what caught me with some of that is the fact that you had to chew something and spit it out, like as if you're putting your saliva, your whatever, and you're spitting it out back into the bucket.
Yeah.
Meaning that whatever's coming out of it needs your saliva or whatever, essence of you, to be birthed, and you spit it out back into the bucket.
Yeah, he was like, don't swallow it. That's not how it works. You got to spit this out.
Right. So like what that tells, like I have no clue.
And they never, like when I have these things, sometimes I wish, like, why did you ever have to tell me this? Because I was fine without having any of these weird events.
How was I to know? But by me telling you my experience.
I know that, but it's like when these things happen, I would like to at least have it happen and like there's a message. You know, I got a message from it. The worst thing is they happen and then like that's it. There's no.
So like Brian says though, he says, you know, write them down and you have to think about each scenario as, okay, what was that representative toward in my life? Or is it something that I should know? Like you have to start looking at each episode as a totality.
Yeah, I just recently started writing them down.
Yeah, and if I could go back and write all mine down, I'm pretty sure it would have added up to something. But some things that I didn't need to write down was the fact that this strange lady in this space who I can only see as like shining diamond face or light face told me, I'm so surprised that you're here. You could do this. And in my mind, I was like, what are you talking about? I'm here and you're saying this to me.
Right.
Where the hell am I? And I'm surprised that I can even see or hear you saying this. And she was just like, oh, and by the way, your guardian angel name is Frank. You call him Frankie. I was like, what? You know, I was like, I've never called anybody. I didn't even know I had a guardian angel and I called him Frankie.
Right.
Which told me, looking back at it, that I obviously know this lady. I've obviously spoken with her before, whether it was like pre-life or whatever. You know, she obviously knew a lot about me. And then, you know,
it's crazy for Deepa to.
And I learned from Deepa that, Frank was right next to her. So that right there, you could pick a million names, bruh.
Right.
But Frank, come on.
Yeah.
Like that told me that just gave me all the validation.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen that Deepa podcast, please watch that one.
Watch the Twin Spirit Guide.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Deepa's really good.
Yeah.
Our Oracle is something else. But so like those gave me, you know, those episodes gave me some truths.
Right.
So I'm not going to say all of them mean something or they do. We just don't know it. But the ones that stick out and actually tell you what they mean, just be looking out for those because they'll literally just do that.
I like how they just challenge my reality. I now know that this life is stranger than what I thought it was.
Yeah, it feels like a substitute.
Yeah. Like there's literally like, oh, when that thing said alien, like there was a projection coming towards me, like it was like my normal life projection. Like somebody was playing a film from way down there, and I was the end result. When it stepped in front of it and gave me its projection, it changed everything in my thought process. I know that doesn't make any sense, but that is the best way I can describe it.
And then look, he comes out on the news and says, hey, there's...
And then the next day, that David Gresh was like, hey, like, you know, and then these blue lights, me and Brian, Unit E, he lives in Hawaii. He'll be on the podcast soon. This dude is we'll explain him later, but he's seen things in Hawaii that how I described them.
Right.
I even recently sent him a video off YouTube. This lady in Hawaii seen these crazy
orbs,
tethered blue lights. And it was kind of like what I saw, but wasn't as brilliant. And it was, you know.
Yeah, color is different.
He says he sees them a lot out there.
Right. Yeah, color is different when you're in the in-between, man.
Yeah, color, like there's no way to tell you what these colors. So much more vibrant
and alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the color has life to it.
Oh my God.
Color in the real world, like I always say, when I had my NDE, there's colors that I still can't tell you.
Right.
Like, because we have no names for them. And it was colors that you could just look, man, when I say they had life to them, like the color actually had a conscience and I could just look at that shit my whole life and just be amazed by it.
Right.
By just doing something as simple as that.
That's how I felt when I was watching those 4 crystallized balls in that blackness.
Yeah.
Because they gave the blackness a different texture.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. There's something so much more.
I was like, I could sit here and watch this all day long.
Fascinated with it. There's so much more than this, what we call reality. It's just like, it's
weird.
almost dumbed down.
Right. It's like, how come they're not teaching us certain things? Like, why is it we're only learning so much about this life?
We don't need them.
And then, like,
we're teaching them ourselves.
Just work. Don't investigate anything.
Yeah.
Just work.
No. We're teaching.
Yeah. Seriously.
We don't need them. Doing it ourselves.
Solaris, I know you're going to be watching this. Is there anything you want to tell her if she experiences this?
Just go with it. I know it's going to feel strange. It's going to feel weird. You're not going to be used to it. Just go with it.
Yeah, it's not anything you should be afraid of.
Just relax and go with it.
Maybe you can get answers from it.
You know, Cole is 13 and Keaton, right? So my kids, at some point, I am going to sit down with them and tell them, well, I could tell Cole.
Yeah.
The 8-year-old may think like, you got a goddamn superpower. What else can we do?
Right.
Cole will listen. He wants to be a robotics engineer. His mindset is already geared toward, that type of perspective.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit down and just have a conversation about it. Hey, this is something I experienced. If you ever experience this, you come to me. Go to your mom. Your mom is fully aware of the shit that happens to me.
Right.
And that it is okay and it is normal.
Right.
And that we're just figuring it out.
I'm just glad our mother believes us, and she is just as curious.
Well,
but as her being a hospice nurse, she's already seen
that,
and witnessed things.
That too. And her story with that cruise. I don't even want to tell the story because I want her to tell it.
Yeah. And her neighbor.
Yeah.
That is a story.
And her sister, Carlotta.
Yeah.
And her biological sister.
Yeah. Solaris and Seraphine, I know you guys are open-minded. Seraphine, you already know, I already know that you already know what's going on.
Matter of fact, I know what you don't already know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Solaris, just don't be afraid of it. It's weird. It's strange.
It's all good.
This is me in the future documenting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or this is me in the past if you're older now and
what the hell?
I don't know. You don't know. She might get, to be 40-something, 50-something years old, look back on these podcasts and be like, what was Dad going through?
Yeah. Should go back and hit the archives.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's one thing I forgot to mention, man, about this airplane deal.
That was the past podcast.
I know.
Let it go.
I know. But
scary ass.
I have to say this about the airplane deal.
You was such a scary ass.
This is funny.
Grown
Nothing
man.
to do with fear. Nothing to do with fear at all.
Right.
But as I was in that bathroom, you know what Marilyn told me to do?
What?
She said, what you should have done versus struggling like that. She said, you should have just pissed in the sink.
Oh, man. See, there you go.
Now, I almost forgot to tell y'all that because I thought that was pretty kooky of this woman to say something like
Who
that.
gonna piss in the... See, that's why bathrooms...
But
that's why laboratories are nasty.
But after thinking about it,
yeah,
I thought about it and I was like, oh, she's on to something. It was the perfect height. I didn't have to bend.
Man, people wash their hands.
I could have just went in the sink and rinsed it out, bruh. I mean, who would? It was already nasty. It already had gobbledygook in there. So yeah, those are the events that took place. Things get crazy here. We're still writing music. I think you guys have seen something already.
Man, you crazy. Y'all crazy.
Hey.
Pissing in airplane sinks,
look,
man.
I didn't do it. She told me that's what I should have done. And, I thought it was nasty. I called her crazy.
Yeah.
But when I sat there and really thought about it, I was like, well, she kind of made sense.
Man, y'all wild.
I could have just stood straight up. I mean, it was perfect level.
Don't go peeing in airplane sinks.
Look, before we get out of here, I got to tell y'all something. I seen some shit that's going to blow your mind. Not the earringing events. That's already crazy.
Here we go.
But it gets weirder.
Damn, here we go.
Did you guys know out there in the world, there are flowers?
Mm-hmm.
These flowers, I don't know if they're orchids. They could be orchids.
Right.
But they are monkey flowers.
Now, see, you pulling shit out your ass.
Oh, no, my friend. What I tell you is the truth. These flowers.
What's the name of this flower? I want to see it.
She going to put it up. It's probably going to be like somewhere right here. These flowers look like monkeys. And not just monkeys, but a variety of different monkeys.
Like chimpanzees.
Like
spider monkeys.
I don't know if I saw one at spider monkey.
Yeah.
And look.
Man, what's the name of these damn flowers, man?
First I said, I know what this shit is.
Yeah.
This is pareidoia.
Yeah. There's no way this flower could be a damn monkey flower.
Not a monkey's face.
Yeah.
God dog it, boo-boo. I'm trying to tell you the truth.
I believe you, Baba. I believe you.
I said, this is pareidoia.
Yeah.
She goes, you think so? I go, yeah. She goes, watch this.
Right. Oh, damn it. Look, the proof is right there.
Some more monkeys, man.
If I'm a monkey and I'm swinging from tree to tree, I don't know where they grow.
Right.
I'm swinging.
Yeah.
And I look down and I go, well, son of a bitch, is that a face in that flower?
Yeah.
Is that a monkey down there that needs my help? And you get down there and you're like, there's no monkey here at all. It's a damn flower. Why does it look like us?
Yeah. I imagine you swinging in the tree, boo-boo.
Yeah.
And you swing in, and I'm swinging right behind you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you just stop midair swinging.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's physically possible.
Yeah,
but I run right into the back of you.
Yeah.
And I go, well, what the hell? We were swinging.
And I go, Baba, there's monkey flowers down there.
I don't believe you, boo-boo. We have to go down and investigate.
Yeah, so we just drop off the damn
vine. Do we
vine.
drop off or do we slide off the vine?
No. We're monkeys. We can drop from anywhere.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could.
We just drop off
and
we investigate. And I go, there, why does that look like you?
Okay, I will let you drop off the vine.
Right.
I will slide down nice and easy as to go, what is he looking at? And as I come down nice and subtle, as you're investigating this.
That looks better.
You could be like, boo-boo, hurry.
Yeah. Look at this.
Or, Baba.
Yeah.
Hurry, look at this.
Sometimes I forget who's Baba and who's Boo Boo.
I think I'm Baba. I'm sure I'm Baba.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I know what a monkey looks like if I'm a monkey.
Right.
I look at you 24/7. Why does that flower look like you?
Yeah, and it's a bunch of them, though. It's like a bouquet of them.
See,
a bouquet.
Is it a bouquet? It's French.
Is it a bouquet or a bouquet?
I think it's a bouquet. A bouquet. A bouquet. This just tells me that nature is fascinated with monkeys like we are.
I'm telling you, nature went, okay, you monkeys are some shit-throwing creatures.
Yes, you are.
You're fascinating. You're very smart.
Yeah.
You can manipulate things with those opposable thumbs.
Here, this flower is to you, monkey creature.
You throw your shit at people and semen at people.
Yeah. You deserve a flower.
You even make snow-covered monkey shit balls and you disguise it and you hit people with it.
Hey, hold on now. Get a hold of your damn self.
Yeah, monkeys are crafty.
Monkey, I'm going to call it.
Monkey orchids.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
The monkey flower.
She probably put it, she's going to put it up there.
Yeah.
But they're, man, and they come in different colors. They look like monkeys.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see this.
I'm surprised Sarah Monroe hasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, where you been, Sarah Monroe? How come you didn't bring this to our damn attention? You knew there was a monkey flower out there.
Where's Flew Over the Cuckoo?
Yeah.
Where's Bug at?
Bug.
What the bug?
What the bug doing?
There's a bunch of commenters. One of these days, we're just gonna have to write a list of the people who comment a lot.
Yeah.
And just go in on them.
And thank you
what the
to
bug
those
doing?
That are the Patreon.
Yeah, the Patreons.
I knew it was going to reach somebody. I knew it.
It still hasn't reached me.
Why don't y'all like the channel?
Subscribe.
I don't see a lot of like button pushing.
I mean, to be fair, when I watch videos, I really don't be pushing.
Stop with that shit. I'm trying to change that.
Yes, you are.
The Patreon is up, like I mentioned. Feel free to join. $1, $2, $3,
$4. 1, 2, 3. $100.
God got your ass.
Damn it.
Peace. You already dead.
Oh. Well, that ain't fun. Oh, I can't die, sucker, because it's fake. And I can come back as many times as I like. I got a pocket full of quarters. There, no more questions for you.